I always remind people that when I'm around, like, understand, like, you're special, like, own that. I don't think people hear that enough that they are really great. I just try to remind them, like, you're special, own that, have fun with it, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun.
Hey everybody, my name is Nico Ramos. We're here with friends from everywhere, from all around Asia, all around Australia. We're here to make way, roll the red carpet out, open the doors, and shine all the light on the one, the only, the gold mamba, Jewell Loyd. Jewell, thank you for making time to meet all of your very excited fans across the Philippines, all other places in Asia, as well as in Australia. You are loved everywhere and for good reason. Welcome.
No, I appreciate it. It's pretty cool. When you break it down like that, it makes you kind of surreal. I thought I was just a local kid, but evidently I'm global.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We have the great thing about this is we also have fans of different ages and different levels of basketball and people who are helping them along in their journeys. We have NBA Basketball School Australia. We have She Hoops, a program of basketball Australia. We have players from college teams and pro teams in the Philippines, in Singapore, and everywhere else. So it's a nice, great collection of people who are very eager to learn more about the game from you. Maybe I want to start with one of the more common questions that are asked by this pool of people. You're such a great inspiration to so many players. Is there a particular way that you found is most effective in encouraging more young girls to start on their basketball journeys?
I would say the biggest thing is really understanding that, like, at an early age, you're one of one. Like, there's no one else like built like you, like legit, like your DNA is like made for you. So know that you're special and simple. Like, know that, like, that's who you are. Like, you are made for something greater. And so regardless of if it's sports or business, whatever it is, like, you have to own that you're made with a purpose. So owning that allows you to move with a confidence that a lot of girls sometimes lose, either from a coach or from a situation. And so have the confidence in your abilities and what you can do. So I always remind people that when I'm around, like, understand, like, you're special, like, own that. I don't think people hear that enough that they are really great. I just try to remind them, like, you're special, own that, have fun with it, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be fun. Especially when you're a kid, like, you're not supposed to be worried about playing time, comparing yourself to other people. You're just trying to have fun. When you have fun, I think that's whenever at their best. So having confidence in yourself, owning that, and then then allow yourself to have fun in the process.
I think that's incredibly useful advice, especially for a lot of the coaches and the program starters and the people who maintain programs that are in this call. One of them is the coach of the NBS girls program, Coach Betania.
So I have some questions for you here. What are the biggest challenges you face as a female basketball player, and how do you overcome them?
A lot of the adversities we face, some of it comes from the negativity of just ignorant people that don't understand, don't watch the sport, right? For me, I look at sports, I don't always see, women's sports, girls sports. It's just, we're sports, we're athletes. Obviously we know it's different leagues, but if you could hoop, you could hoop. If you could score a goal, you could score a goal. The skills are the same. The height might be different, but I own it on that the difficulties it's constantly trying to educate people while you're still on your path to be good, to be great, right? To build something, as well as just, the biggest thing, we see now is just visibility, right? How do you market yourself? How do you, really, I think some of it's from the league of just being seen. Women need to be seen. If you see people who look like you or the same struggles as you, have the same stories as you, and are seen as, these super women, like, you're like, okay, I want to be like that, right? And that's the difficulties of being a woman in sports, is that we're not always seen. Our stories aren't always told, and so you can't connect. But I think the last couple of years has been better, but it's definitely the struggle of that, because we need that. We need that visibility for our resources. We're definitely getting better, but it definitely needs more improvement for sure.
So you have actually had quite a storied career so far. WNBA championships, All-Star Game MVP, Olympic gold, World Cup gold. What would you say have been your biggest achievement thus far in your career?
I would say there's two that really stick out to me. The 2020 championship in the bubble was just a crazy experience, being isolated from everyone. going through that. For me, it was the first season of going to a season without Kobe, who was a mentor of mine. And so I dealt with grief, and I never had that before. So that was a big moment in my life of trying to figure out just another way to live, and just try to deal with that. And the environment that we lived in was so unique. And living in the bubble was like, I can't explain to you. It was kind of like adult summer camp, but you couldn't really do anything. It was wild. I wish I would have recorded more of that, because it's just some of the stuff you're like, what in the world? And then winning a gold medal, that's like the highest honor as an athlete. And that was one of my goals, is once I committed my full self to basketball, was I want to be an Olympian. And so having that experience and to do it, with the team that we had, and to see all the things we did to make history was wild. And so I would say those two things were probably the biggest things in my career that I really honed on.
Of course, given the nickname, the Gold Mamba by Kobe himself, I just want to know, how was Kobe as a mentor to you, and like how does his influence help you to be better every day, like on and off the court?
Having him as a mentor early in my career, and even as I got to the pros, was like unbelievable. Sometimes it's like, how am I talking to this guy? Like what happened, all these things. But basketball wise, he always just told me, just watch a lot of film, watch basketball as much as you can. You can learn from anyone. You can watch 4-year-olds, you can watch 40-year-olds, whatever it is, watch it and study the game. Because creatively, you start to think, what can I do in these situations? How can I be better? You start to learn the game as a coach as well. And you just kind of open your mind to certain things, and you challenge yourself to kind of get mentally stronger. But honestly, a lot of the talks that we had were off the court. The two things he always told me to do was be epic and create forever. And those two things have been the trademarks of my life, of how I go about my day, how I go about my business, how I treat my friends and family. It's those two things. It's how can I create forever? His mind was just so creative. It's different, and it's something that we obviously all miss. And that's what made him so special. He saw the game so differently, but he was able to share those things.
In your own words, what is the Jewell Loyd brand?
I would say it's servitude. I would say that's the biggest thing for me, is understanding that you have to serve and you get a reward back. And the reward back is not necessarily physical, but it's just my spirit, like my vibe, right? I know that I'm here because people have helped me. They served me, and they allowed me to be places that maybe I shouldn't have been, or practices, or all these things. They allowed me to be here. And so how I go about my life is being a servant. I really believe that. I think that's really important to me. And like I said, it's a vibe thing for me. It's how I feel internally. And if my vibe's off, it changes how I approach my basketball life, my friends, my relationships, my family. But I just try to serve, be a good person. And I think that's like the core of my brand. It's like, can you serve?
For the record, 3 in the corner. There it is! Jewell Loyd!
I just wanted to ask what the transition was like from college to going into pros. I know it's quite a quick turnaround, especially like going into the WNBA. So how was that? I'm sure it was chaotic for you at some stage.
It's super chaotic. Like you have the draft, and then like the next week you're in like a city you never ever been to in your life. Like I went from South Bend, Indiana, small town, all the way to Seattle. Never lived by myself. Never. Like that was my first time ever like literally being by myself. So it's a quick turnaround, figuring out like grocery stores, all that stuff. Like I was like, I don't know. And then learn how to practice with grown women that are professional athletes was like crazy. At the time too, I was the youngest person in the league. So I was still playing video games, but everyone's like talking about like relationships and families. And I was just like, I'm gonna go play Super Mario Kart. So I'll see you guys later. But the shift is different for sure, because the game is so physical. Like, I don't think people understand how physical the game is. Just the skill, the knowledge. So for me, it was like I had to get stronger. I came in at like, I don't know the conversion, but like 135 pounds. And I was not very strong and just getting tossed. It was like so embarrassing. So for me, it's like, okay, I need to take care of my body. The things you don't always think about, I guess, from college, you have to think about in the pros, like recovery and like what I'm eating and the living is what the biggest struggle is for rookies. Is like, I'm like trying to like making sure your schedule's good, like when you're gonna eat and process this and go here. But I asked a lot of questions. I was not afraid to ask questions. I was like, guys, I need help. Like, if you guys want me to show up on the game on Friday, I need help. Like, I really need you guys. So I kind of leaned on my teammates, and that's like the biggest shift is like learn how to like grow up and be an adult, honestly.
How do you like to stay mentally tough and motivated during any injuries or any other setbacks you might face whilst playing?
My first big injury was 2019, maybe. I completely destroyed my ankle. That's the first time I had to like understand how to get back. Mentally, it was like, okay, I'm not where I want to be. I have to learn how to walk and all these things. And I think in general, everyone kind of goes through some kind of adversity, whether it's injuries or just not motivated, you know, or whatever it is. For me, it's really getting back to my whys. Like, why am I playing this? Why am I doing this? It can't just be about money. It can't just be about the fame. It can't just be about, oh, I need this deal for this. And like that stuff just goes away because it just does. But it had to be about like my family, people that really care for me, right? Like, because I wanted to get back to just be happy, right? And so I find certain reasons to get back, and the things of us visualizing why and how I started.
Jewell, I have so many questions for you. You know I love you. Every time I see you, I'm all over you because you're my mate. How are you feeling ahead of the WNBA season? I know you've got a new look team. Ezzy's over there with you and Jade Melbourne. I love Mercedes. Mercedes has become one of my favourite human beings in the world. How are you feeling ahead of the WNBA season? And, okay, a couple of things. Are you going to win the championship? And when is this new facility going to be open? Are you going to be training in it this year? That's really exciting.
Yeah, so facility is going to be done before training camp, which is super exciting. Obviously, we've been trying to get that done for a while, and timing was right, and it needed for sure for us in the city. Like what, you know, it honestly started with what you and Sue built in Seattle, and now having all the hype and stuff around it and financial stuff, like we're good. So I appreciate you because that's where I started. Honestly, like I know you don't want to, you know, take all the credit, but it really does. Like you and Sue kind of started that and what it is today. So championship is what, you know, we're trying to do. You know, we had a season, a down season, but honestly, in a lot of ways, it wasn't a down season for me. I think in general, we needed that season for a lot of the players to grow and really see what they could do and believe in. So coming into this season, we're super excited. You know, we added NECA, we added Skylar, pieces that we were trying to get. And, you know, I'm super excited about it. You know, I got to know them more in the offseason, figure out, you know, what they need from me, how we could come together and really, you know, have a hunt, you know, the biggest thing they talked about was winning a championship, right? Like you want to be the hunt again. And Seattle is a place of excellence, and we expect to win, right? We expect to be in the hunt every single year. With what we're trying to do, we're trying to build a different culture, a culture of family, culture of, you know, embracing everyone, and hopefully, you know, we get you a 10-day contract, you come back and things are great and with us. And things are good, you know. So, you know, I have my fingers crossed every year. You know, I kind of throw it out there all the time. Like, you just get more in for a 10-day, it's totally fine. So we'll see.
No way. Okay, and then lastly, I just can't go without asking this, just because the whole of the world is watching Caitlin Clark at the moment and what it's going to look like for her coming into the league. What do you expect to see from her?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Everyone talks about her scoring. I think it's her passing. It's like one of her traits. Her passing is so good, so lethal, and that's a skill that you can't really, you either have or you don't, I feel like, and it's hard to teach that. So that's going to be something that translates to me right away. Scoring's always, you know, it is what it is. I think her ability to shoot deep threes helps a lot. It's like a shift. Like growing up as an adult from college is a little bit different. Travel's a little different. Pressure's a little different. But, you know, I think it's exciting because, you know, I think more people are motivated to see this class of rookies coming in, you know, ready to see, and, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, agree with all of that.
Yeah.
That's me. Good job.
Yeah,
LJ.
Sign a 10-day.
Yeah, right. No.
I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that and completely misrepresent you. I'm gonna clip the part where Jewell says sign a 10-day, and then when you say yeah right, I'm gonna stop it right there, and I'll put it out everywhere. And
please
and then we'll be waiting. You're the absolute best. Thank you for making time to show love to an absolute future Hall of Famer of our game, one of the best to ever do it. If your career ended right now, we would say you were one of the deadliest, scariest people on the face of the earth with a basketball. The one, the only gold Mamba, Jewell Loyd. Thank you so much to you both, and Jewell especially, for doing this. To our friends all over Australia and all around Asia, thank you very much for making time. Jewell, LJ, thank you very much for making time. We appreciate this. We'll talk to you guys again very, very soon.